Mm. Yeah, it's been so fun playing that arc over the 2 seasons of going from being the new kid, the new RA, episode 1 of season 1, the pilot. It was Rizwan's first day on the job, and I think that comes with a lot of nerves. But now season 2, yeah, he's the head RA. He's got to step it up. I think he's found his stride a little bit, and he's continuing to. And it's just been so fun seeing the character evolve over the second season. I've never played one character for this long before, so it's really exciting for me to see Rizwan grow over time and being able to play that. It's just such a privilege and a joy. Yeah.
Well, and obviously he was close with Phoebe in season one. What did he learn from her about what he wanted to take into being the number one kind of help in this position?
Yeah, I think Phoebe taught Rizwan a lot. I mean, she was the head RA and she kind of helped initiate me into WIFA and that whole world. And Phoebe, played by Molly Coons, has become a really good friend of mine, and we really like each other. We hang out all the time, and it's just been so fun to have that dynamic with each other on screen and off screen. We always say like we're so thankful that we like each other because otherwise we'd be stuck together for so much. But yeah, I think that she's taught him maybe more of like the theories and the kind of terms and psychological theories a bit more. I think she really provides that. We always joke that like she's Hermione and I'm Ron. Uh, so I think that she's educated me, we can say. Uh, yeah. So I guess I don't know who Harry would be, but we do have a new research assistant coming in. So I will let viewers decide that for themselves.
Yeah, well, and obviously his thing since Phoebe left has been trying to find someone else to fill out the team. And he finds someone in theory and Simon.
Mhm.
What can you share? What does he see in Simon that he's hopeful about, and what are his thoughts about Simon just in general at this point?
Yeah, I think it's a daunting task for Rizwan to uh, have to choose the next RA. I think that's one of his first big responsibilities as the new head RA. So that's kind of intimidating, right? Is like, I better choose someone good and I better not mess this up because it's a big task. And I think something Simon brings to the table is that his expertise is psychobiology, which is something new that I don't think Rizwan or Phoebe necessarily brought to the table as much. So that's the way in which Rizwan gets excited about Simon, but there's also a bit of anxiety because he's Simon Wilton, and we're at Wilton University, and he comes from this long, wealthy line, and he doesn't know if he should hire him because he's a Wilton. Should he not hire him because he's a Wilton? Is that also messed up to not hire someone because they're a Wilton? So it was really fun playing that kind of anxious, like, I feel like this is the right thing, but it also might not be. And yeah, we saw that in episode 2, and we'll continue to see how how Simon does at WIFA and see if Rizwan made a good choice or not.
Well, it was interesting because Simon did want to go to the crime scene and had a very, visceral reaction and then called out of work.
Yeah.
What is Rizwan's thought about Simon both having those nerves, but then ultimately opting to come back and be honest about it? And how does that kind of change their dynamic going forward?
Yeah, so Simon Bales, he's been triggered by something which I will not give away, but viewers will find out soon. And I think that is a moment of anxiety for Rizwan, being like, oh, maybe I didn't make the right choice. And he's kind of in the middle of that turmoil. And then Simon turns to honesty and just says, hey, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have not come. And I think seeing that honesty within Simon solidifies not just for Rizwan, but for Alec as well, that he's an honest person, and we all get triggered and we all get scared, and that's okay. It's more about the honesty. That's really what counts. And so I think that Simon he's still got the chance to prove himself. I don't think we can rule him out yet. And yeah, many cool stories on the way.
One of the fun moments in tomorrow's episode is that there is the playing of the crime scene for the class. What is it like for you when you are getting to have those moments when you're acting while also acting?
I know that was kind of weird. We were talking about that while we were shooting that too. Yeah, it's fun. It's always strange to play, like to be an actor playing someone acting. But the is such a fun aspect of the show. I think it differentiates us from other crime procedurals. It's not just about who's the person that did the murder. It's how can this be turned into a lesson for viewers? And I think that's makes our show unique because yeah, the way it comes back into the classroom is something you don't see in a lot of other crime procedurals. And so yeah, it's so much fun to do those experiments. And yeah, they tend to be fun. They usually write some fun little things for us to do in those experiments. So I always have a blast doing them.